Okay, so welcome to another episode of Englishtoihoi, and today I'm with a very special guest today, and he is a news writer for a global newspaper called Wall Street Journal. And Pinop, so why don't you introduce yourself to our viewers a little bit about who you are and what you do at the moment?
Okay, thank you for having me today. I'm not that special. Okay, like you said, my name is Noparat Chachilapmukon. People call me Nop. Currently, I'm a reporter for the Wall Street Journal, Dow Jones Newswire. They're the same company. The paper is published worldwide. Readers from all over the world read it. So I was told this is #1 newspaper in the world. Dow Jones Newswire is for investors, companies who are interested in economics and corporate related news. So my routine job is to write stories, short or long, depends on what story develops in Thailand. So that's my current job. But I've been a journalist for more than a decade. I've been with the NHK World, the English news team of the NHK, which is Japanese public broadcaster. And before that, I have been working with Thai broadcasters, but focused on English news.
Okay, so I just want to tell you guys a little bit more. Even though that my channel is primarily dedicated to spoken English, but the reason that I want Pinop to be here today to talk to you guys because writing skill is just as important as speaking skill. So you have been in the business, you have been in this industry for 10 years?
No, more than 10 years.
For more than 10 years.
2002, so what, 13 years now.
So how did you get started since your English is not your first language?
Well, it started since I was young, because since I was young, I remember that I love languages. English would be the second foreign language, not the third, because at my home we speak Chinese anyway. But it's something that I felt like I must excel, I should develop my skill very much to look good or something like that. But the thing is, back at my home when I was young, we had like moms and pop shops, so we had foreign clients coming in all the time, and I heard my aunt, my uncle speaking English all the time, and I felt that looks cool. I should be able to do that too when I grow up, after I grow up. But fortunately, my elementary and junior high school education focused a lot on English. So my written grammar skills have been quite good actually.
So you would say that your motivation actually came from observing your aunt speaking English?
Yeah, I have not been living in international environment like other people. Okay, apart from what I just said, we listen to English music. I have been listening to English music since I was young, before I could even speak. So it's been around, something that kind of inspired me. And it's shallow, but it looked cool when I was young that I would speak other language other than Chinese and Thai at home. But then it became something that I made a living out of it. So when you ask why I decided this career, I believe my English at that time was good enough to be in the industry. So my first journalist position was a rewriter. So my basic job was to write.
Yeah, so from what I really understand, like becoming a journalist in any language, and let alone Thai language, but now you need to learn like a new language.
Yeah.
I mean, how did you like prepare yourself for that?
Well, it always started with more exposure. You need to let yourself expose to what you want to go for. So for me, okay, I started because I have been believing that my basic English skills have been fine, grammar, writing. So in university, I focus more on speaking. What was the question again?
So the question, how did you do it? Because a lot of people, this is what I mentioned in my first video, that a lot of us, like especially Thai students, we have been studying English for 12 years. And how did you do that? How did you become really fluent?
It just, when I was in junior high school, I started speaking more. At that point, my friends would call me Dajarit, pretentious, whatever you call. You had to be that much. But at that time, luckily, we were still living in the time that we watched pirated video. So my family bought a lot. So I was watching a lot of movies in English soundtrack with subtitle in English.
Wait, are we going to be arrested?
Oh, it was like 20 years ago. Somebody could arrest someone back then. So that's when I picked up more listening skill. so expanded my skill to I mean, because I wanted to speak when I was young. So before to be able to speak, you have to know how people speak first. So that's where I picked up conversational skills. Writing, you have to read. I didn't plan to be like this journalist, hardcore journalist, but I dreamt of being on TV broadcasting English news. But to do that, then you have to be able to know what you're talking about. So I started reading Bank Across the Nation since I was in university, reading a lot. My intention might not be to write well, but because I had to go through the whole articles. And I pretended to be reading news, so I was reading it out loud. One way or another, it went into my brain. And when I had to write, I remember how it was written. So it reflected that. So it's exposure. And then when I started coming to this industry, I had to read more of the fine scripts that my colleagues have been writing. So, and read more from other sources like AP, Reuters, whoever they were, to pick up how good stories should be like. So yeah, it's a learning process and still continuing.
So that's how you've been teaching yourself. But then, how would you correct your own mistakes?
Actually, it's hard to know your own mistake unless you are so aware of what you're doing. Writing, now it's easier with the internet, so you can just Google. When I was writing something, I wasn't sure whether I heard it from somewhere or I've seen it. It came to my mind. I wrote it.
Right.
When I wasn't sure, I was second guessing myself. I put the whole phrase on the internet, finding whether a reliable sources have been using that phrase, that line, that sentence, that paragraph before.
So basically, you're comparing with.
I would say
sentences.
checking. I need to check whether this phrase, this term, this way of writing exists in the world. I'm not a native, so I have to refer to someone. Copying would be one basic step to do, but at this point, copying can't be my way of life because it would be plagiarism, right? So,
Yeah.
So for those of you who are learning to write, yeah, copying would be the best way because you're not copying something so important. You just copy the style, the vocabularies, it's fine.
So I want to go back to the, when you were talking about speaking, practicing your own speaking, your English speaking skills. How did you because a lot of people, I believe that they, for a lot of people, they can't afford to go overseas, they can't afford to go to international school, and they said, how am I going to do it when I don't have anybody to speak English with?
Well, I have to tell you guys first that I never went to any international school. The closest one would be AVAC. Before that, I was studying at Assumption Commercial College, so most subjects were taught in English anyway. So yeah, I got advantage over most Thai students. But when I look around at my friends who we graduated with, we together for years, my English is much better than many of them. But it did not cause, it wasn't because I went to these schools alone. I had to you have to imagine, when I was trying to speak English, you get to have a role model. More than one would be good. I watched movies, I talked to friends. I got friends who went on the exchange program and came back with better English. They kindly taught me how to say something. I picked up from the way they spoke. And the more you see, the more you hear, whether it's writing or speaking, you will see which one is right or wrong. But you have to be detailed to pick up the right one, the right ways, and try to use it that way. Because a lot of people would just, my level will be an advanced one. If you are a beginner, so just pick up and copy things, but get exposure to a lot of people, writing or speaking up to you. But it's not that very difficult. Look at me, I succeeded. But you can't just say, no, I can't speak English. It's scary, I will make mistakes. Mistakes make you a better person. So you have to make mistakes.
Right, because a lot of people get discouraged quickly when they started, when they find that it was becoming too difficult for them to study. What was your inspiration, your motivation to keep going?
I can't say. Like I said, I was inspired since I was young. I want to speak English fluently, write well, understand things easily. I have been determined compared to my friends, but because my basic English knowledge has been quite solid, it helped me a lot. But if any of you out there maybe are not going to schools that focus on English teaching, then you have to bypass that process and just go to speaking part and listen to a lot of native would be better. Don't try to listen to Thai people speaking English, even I would say me, I don't know, because a lot of us can make a lot of mistakes and you don't know that. I made mistakes, I made a fool myself all along the way, every time writing or speaking. When I was a news presenter before, news anchor, whatever you call, I pronounced some words wrong. It was so wrong on TV. I didn't know that, but then my colleague said, hey, you made a mistake. Okay, that mistake taught me I would never do that again. But one thing is, I don't care whether you speak English or British accent or American accent. Most important things to me would be to pronounce correctly. It's difficult if we're not studying like liberal arts to study phonetics or something. I don't know. I'm not even sure I pronounced phonetics correctly, but maybe I'm right. Consult dictionary. When you think of something, like maybe I'm wrong. And when you hear something, try to more than understand. Try to pick the way that it's spoken, because you will easily make a lot of mistakes. Can I defame someone on this channel?
I don't know. We'll see what then.
Okay, if you have been listening to the National Council for Peace and Order's announcement after the bombing of Bangkok recently, every day, you should be able to notice that the lady has made a lot of wrong pronunciation on air. It kills me a lot.
So if they're actually listening to my YouTube channel right now, what would be your advice? What would you say?
Please consult with native or read to someone, because that's how I started my career as a English news anchor too. If someone needs to correct you, you can't just say like, I'm cool. I think I say it correctly. No, you can't. You will be making a fool out of yourself, and you kill people like me. Like listening every day on daily basis. Like I can't stand that, but I have to because I don't know what to do.
Well, I agree with you on that part, because pronunciation is very important. It doesn't matter what accent you have. As long as you pronounce the words correctly, then people will understand you either way.
Correctly, absolutely. So say something simple, convey your message. Don't mind your accent. But as a Thai, it's difficult for many people because a lot of Thais would add S, R, L to where it doesn't exist. So hearing skill is quite important. You have to hear first, listen to it, and then you realize, oops, I've been making mistakes. So practices like L and R would be the most common mistake here. And a lot of people add S where it doesn't exist, like I said, right? I don't know where it came from. When I listen to my sister, like, where did that come from? No S there. Stop it all the time. So you have to listen. Imagination helps. In my case, I passed that point that pronunciation is not my problem because I studied well when I was young. So just picking the right tone, You don't say relative like someone said on TV lately. Instead, you have to say relative. That's it.
Is that by the NCPO?
Yes.
I don't think we're gonna be in trouble because this is constructive.
Yeah, and like don't say currently. That every day. That's okay. Gives me a goosebump.
All right. If you guys are watching this YouTube video right now, and you are wondering what would be if you are trying to practice your writing skills, and if you have any questions, you can leave them down in the comment below, and then I will get back to you guys. I'll probably have to ask Pino first, and he will explain to you what you need to do to really improve your writing skills. So you're saying that you're a journalist now, so you can't just write whatever you want, right? I mean, there is a structure you need to follow. I mean,
sure.
How did you improve your writing, like towards journalism writing side?
Okay, first, I'm working for a very well-established news organization. A lot of great people have been working there before me. I had to read their stories. But there will be basic structure, a set of basic elements in the new structure that I have to follow anyway. It's like if you're studying, you have to learn how to write essay anyway. It could be similar, like introduction, content, and conclusion. Similar, but news you have to make it sexier. But when you read a lot of stories out there,
When you just say sexier?
yes, news have to be sexier because you are reporting the same story a lot of people are talking about. If you write the same way, people can guess your career may end too soon. You have to start with the approach and then you have to pick up vocabularies that will intrigue people to like, what are you talking about? You may get some kind of criticism like, you don't need to go that far, but it's good. Sometimes I add some fancy words and my Thai friends who have been reading my story said, I don't know what you're writing about. Good.
That is so true. I mean, for a lot of writers who are trying to improve their writing skill, I mean, Pinova said earlier that the first thing you need to do is you need to increase your vocabulary by reading a lot of books, right? Just reading, concentrate on reading, and then your vocabulary will increase for sure, definitely. Yeah. So, any final words to our viewers?
I would say it's not impossible for anyone to be fluent or good at English when you're not studying at any international school or going abroad. It takes a lot of work to accomplish that level, but it's possible. And look around. When I walk on the street, a lot of kids have been speaking English and Thai back and forth. It's not a bad start, I think. It looked silly when I was young because my friend said, you finish the whole sentence in English and then Thai is fine. Don't do like Thai English word for word. It's funny, it's silly, and it's stupid. So try to finish the whole sentence, it's fine. So be brave to make mistake. Try to open up everything. Don't be so scared like you make mistake, because I have been telling a lot of people around me who complain about their English and wanting me to be their teachers. Like, well, first you have to try to expose yourself, talk to me in English, or I speak to you and you repeat after me. Don't just be, trying to excuse yourself from anything. Just go for it. It applies to everything in the world, actually, not only language, but it's just you should do, really, seriously.
Okay, if they want, are you on social media as well?
Yeah.
If they want to see more, if you want to get to know more about you, so where can they actually follow you?
Well, Twitter would be the most public place for me to welcome people. Is at NOPBKK, NOPBKK.
I'll put the link down below as well.
Because that's where I would tweet my stories, my colleagues' stories, or my company's stories, or some interesting information. Start from there, and then we'll go later after that.
Can they ask you questions about English and about writing and speaking too?
Of course, I would love to teach people, to share what I know with people, because like I told you, I'm not good at teaching, but I can try to explain what the question might be. I would love to help people because it's important. English is gonna be insufficient in a few years' time. I think you have to go to the third language by then, so pick up your pace and go for it. AEC is coming around the corner, right? In a few months' time.
At the end of this year.
English would be a good vehicle for you to go everywhere.
Yeah, I don't even know if people are going to be speaking English anymore in a few years.
Well, they would need to, but they need to speak the third language.
We might lose their jobs.
Well, I have been actually. This is a bad example. I've been picking up other languages for years. I haven't accomplished them like
How
Japanese.
many languages can you speak? Japanese?
I would say Italian, because I took classes for years, but I have not been using them for years too. So what I could do is when I am in either country, I can read menu, I can ask directions.
Well, that's cool.
I can shop. I can make my way around.
That sounds pretty elite to me, though.
That's enough. But I'm determined to go back to school to learn these languages. So you guys should go and work out on your English first, and then move on to other languages.
Okay, so besides China, what other languages do you speak?
English and Thai would be the best I could
Italian,
say.
Chinese? Maybe?
Well, Chinese would be actually shamefully my English, my Chinese skill is lower than Japanese and Italian. Even I am ethnic Chinese. Look at my face.
I'm part Chinese. I don't speak Chinese.
No, because my grandparents passed away when I was too young. So my parents, my aunts, my uncles, they could speak among themselves. When they speak to me, I can understand maybe, but I can't reply. Again, because I expose only one direction. I've been hearing all the time, but I didn't get to speak to them, so I can't speak.
Yeah, me too. Like my grandparents stopped speaking to me in Chinese when I went to school. Yeah.
So I blame them actually.
Yeah.
And but it's important too. So I told my mom like, speak to me. When she spoke to me sometimes and I couldn't understand her, she complained like, and you asked me to speak to you,
Yeah,
and you
why
don't
are you
understand.
talking?
I don't know what to say. Please just keep on speaking, okay? I will try to understand.
Okay, alright, so I guess we have come to the end of the show now, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you very much, Pinop, for being here, and hopefully in the future we'll do more videos with Pinop, who will be sharing you guys with more writing skills and speaking tips. And if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, or if you have any comments, put them down below. And you can also follow me on Facebook, which is, well, I'll put the link. It's easier for me because the link is very long. And you can also follow me on Twitter. It's Englishtoihoi. I'll put the link down below in the comments as well. And hope you guys are doing great. We'll see you again later. สวัสดีครับ